Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Okay, and by the way, make sure you follow me on IG. My handle is CTABANZ. Make sure you go follow me right now, and also make sure you follow the Dreamers Pro page on Instagram as well. Same name as the channel, Dreamers Pro. Let's get into this topic here. Okay. The NBA world went into an absolute frenzy when we got the news that Michael Jordan was going to be coming back to the NBA, but not in the form that he came back to play basketball as he did previously. In this case, he's going to be coming back to the game to talk about the game, right? To talk about it. And when the news broke at the time, it was just absolute excitement. We finally got to hear for the go. Now, let me tell you one of the reasons why people were excited beyond the fact that they were excited to see the greatest player to ever play the sport step back into the fray. I think people were also excited because now we get to get a fresh perspective on some of the things that are being propagated out there through some of these media channels. Because let's just face it, the people that have been dominating the sports discourse, at least it is in basketball in the NBA, has been all clutch sports guys. Let's just keep it a stack. It's all pro LeBron guys, pro his narrative, pro twerking, pro honey slinging, pro gyration, all of that. The media landscape had been littered with these guys. And now finally, we get to hear from Michael Jordan, the greatest player ever. And this is something that I believe a lot of those guys were not happy about. This is what I personally believe here. So what happened? The news came out. Subsequently, we did a show that was centered on how much Jordan is going to be getting paid for this NBC deal. And the number we were able to unearth was around $40 million per annum, right? Earning just over, just a little bit more than Tom Brady, the greatest football player of all time, is earning with Fox Sports. We covered that. So what happened? Yesterday, Stephen A. Smith went on the PBD podcast, Valuetainment, Patrick Davis podcast. And they were up there talking about a bunch of things. Tariffs, would he run as a Republican? How does the black community view him? Is Anthony Edwards a superstar? And then they got to the part about where they were discussing the return of Michael Jordan, right? And I was very eager to hear Stephen A. Smith's thoughts on this, and I'll tell you why. Because some people out there had been telling me, according to these sources that we don't even know who they are, that, Michael Jordan is coming back to make a fool out of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan fans. And I'm like, what? Jordan is going to come back to attack his own fans? I'm lost. They were essentially saying that Jordan was going to come back to basically rub LeBron's booty because of all of the things that Kobe fans and Jordan fans have been saying against him. So he's here to basically say, no, only say nice things about LeBron. And then Jordan is going to come back and alienate his own fans and the fans of Kobe Bryant. I'm like, that makes no good goddamn sense. That makes no bloody sense whatsoever. So when they brought up, when Patrick David brought up this news that Michael Jordan is going to be coming back to talk sports, Stephen A. Smith then revealed this. He said not only is MJ coming back, but he is coming back to absolutely destroy the cupcake era. And I was like, thank you. So what we want to do now is we're going to play exactly what Stephen A. Smith had to reveal to Patrick David on the PBD podcast, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Patrick David here.
Heck, people may watch the game to just hear his commentary and not even pay attention to the game, right? Mm-hmm. But if you would have told me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, Michael's going to come back and do commentating, I would say, Stephen A., I don't know if I can see that happening. Tell me your thoughts on
Couple of things. Yeah. Number one, don't believe everything you read. NBA Countdown, ESPN, our ratings are up. Not down. Our ratings are up, okay? From a year ago, from 2 years ago. That's number one. Number two, linear television is one component. More eyeballs are transitioning to digital. And what people don't realize is just like you're doing this, like you're not on linear television. You guys have over 6 million followers. They're watching you. It's just not on linear. So when you see people, they're not watching. It's just like with me, when people, I guess I'm a rarity because, First Takes ratings have, been what it is and stuff like that. But I've got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube inside of 2 years.
I watch you more than I watch the game.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying to you is that they're watching me on digital. They're watching First Take on digital. I personally register myself over 2.3 billion views annually between First Take, between my podcast, between NBA Countdown stuff, because it's not just linear. So just because they say that the numbers are down on linear television, there's a reason why Amazon has now replaced TNT. There's a reason for that. Now, when you think about Michael Jordan, that's NBC. That's the long-standing relationship. Amar Rashad used to be over there. Okay. NBC had the contract, and you had one executive that had a very close relationship with Michael Jordan that convinced him to do it. Because for network television, that's a drop in the bucket for them to get Michael Jordan.
Nothing.
Let me tell you something about Michael Jordan. He's going to be brutally honest. Oh, I can show you that. He's not going to be somebody that's going to be passive about, not the Michael Jordan I know. The Michael Jordan I know, when talking basketball, he is as candid as it gets. He ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. He ain't trying to be insulting, but he's going to tell you what's going on. Just like I just described something with Ant-Man, that's something he'll tell you. He's talking about the game of basketball. I don't think he's going to be passive at all. I really, really don't. And I'm actually proud of him for doing it because, with the Jordan brand and him being worth over $2 billion, so he don't need this. So his mentality, please, I'm wasting my time with that because he never wants to be interviewed and all this other stuff. And I said, come on, man. Let me tell you something. Stop acting like you have nothing to say about basketball. Now that you're retired, you talk about it all the damn time. I'm literally talking about getting a call. What the hell did I just hear you say? Call me now. I'm like, what the hell you say that for? It don't make no damn sense. This is him, right? Now he wasn't as eloquent like Kobe. Kobe was a little bit different. Mother, I didn't just hear you say that. Don't even think about getting the air and thinking that you're gonna go someplace else because you got another one of your damn 12 jobs. Pick up the goddamn phone and call me now.
That's Kobe.
That was Kobe.
Wow.
That was Kobe. Mike's not quite like that. But he's candid. And I don't think that he's going to be shy about saying what he sees at all. A matter of fact, if he is, he's going to have to deal with me because I'm going to be in his ear telling him, we getting shy now. Oh, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. That ain't the one. That ain't the MJ I know. What you doing? Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Stephen A. Smith here. So you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. What are my thoughts about this? That sounds about right. It sounds about right. And that guy, whoever he was, that talked about Jordan is coming back to scold his support. Why would Jordan come back to scold his supporters? Like, I'm confused. And the part that was killing me was like, these guys were out here saying, you see, he's going to come back and really get rid of, because he's not going to be negative. I'm like, that's interesting because that's all you guys have been. You guys have been tearing down Jordan's legacy at every turn. We're done with the 90s. Going at Kobe Bryant, going at this one, going at that one. And at the end, y'all get to run off scot-free and act like as if, look, Jordan's coming back to get y'all. Nah, bro. Don't throw a rock and hide your hand. Ain't no coming back to save nobody. Smith is saying that he is coming. Smith is saying that he is coming back and he is going to keep it a buck. So let's think of some possible scenarios of what this may look like. Let's think of the practical application of Jordan keeping it real. You think that Jordan is going to sit down and see dumb basketball being played, players load managing left and right, and Jordan is going to be like, well, you see, you got to understand, man, things are hard these days. He not going to go for that nonsense. He not going for that. What would Jordan look like supporting the nonsense that goes on when in his era, they actually went through the grind. Do you know how many times Jordan played 82 games in a season? Do you know how many times he played 78 plus games in the season? So Jordan gonna come back and basically try to put a bib on this generation and say, oh no, don't be so harsh on them. They're going through a lot of stuff. You bugging. Stephen A. Smith said Jordan keeps it candid behind the scenes. So you should expect that. And if Jordan is trying to be too politically correct, he's going to get in his ear and be like, what's up with all of this? Nah, don't spare their feelings. And you know what's most interesting about all of this is this. You have LeBron, who is this era's apologist. Oh, the older generation is this. So what I'm waiting for now is the following. Who is going to be the Dumbo that's going to jump out of the window and call Michael Jordan a hater? Which one of you jigaboos is going to do it first and lose your entire platform and your credibility? Who's going to do it? Because you must be sadly mistaken that if you think NBA fans are going to go against Jordan for your ass or you LeBron content, it's not going to happen. You guys are just one fan base. It's not going to happen. And let me tell you this. A lot of people are looking for some honest commentary. We don't want to hear no more y'all twerking. No more y'all complaining. Oh man, there are too many back-to-backs. Can we get more breaks? Can we play a game a week and a play? Like, yo, we tired of hearing from y'all, man. We tired of hearing from that week, you know what. Nobody want to hear that no more. So it looks like whoever it was that was going around the internet spreading that rumor that Jordan is coming back to talk about the toxic media. Who's the toxic media? Are you even joking? Where do we start? Do we start with Nick Wright? Do we start with Shannon Sharp? Do we start with all the people that came up with these dumbass slogans like we're done with the... Where do we start? Oh, it's going to be a wonderful day. Nah, bro, you can't have Jordan to twerk with you. And I wonder, what happens when Jordan says something that's critical? Is LeBron going to go on Mind the Game podcast and be like, Jordan's a hater? I'm waiting to see that too. Because ain't nobody going to support him over Jordan except his fan base. Ain't nobody. Jordan carries the most respect out of all of these dudes. It's a fact. And when he talks, we all gonna listen. Oh, I can't wait. Shaq recently, made some headlines for his top 10, in specific his top 5, but his top 10 as well. Because as he trotted out his top 10 players of all time, if I can just think of it off my hand, it's Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Bill Russell, Dr. J, and I think Larry Bird. One of the things people took exception with Shaq's list is the fact that he didn't include Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who I have as the second greatest player of all time, who many people believe that he's in the top 3 no matter what. So some people got on him for that. Some people also got on him for the fact that he didn't include Stephen Curry in his top 10, right? And I think he said a few months ago, I don't remember when, he was saying that, Stephen Curry should be mentioned in the GOAT debate and all of that. And then, of course, leaving LeBron out of the top 3 and putting him number 4 all time, right? So people were commenting on that. I even saw a segment from The Odd Couple when Rob Parker and Kelvin were reacting to it, saying, how could, it doesn't make any sense. You're changing your list. And given the type of person Shaq is, based on from what I think he is from afar, I'm sure Shaq heard some of the things that were being said about him. And if you know anything about Shaq can be petty. And if Shaq feels like he's being backed into a corner, he'll just double down. He will just double down. And essentially, that is what happened. So we got a report here from Clutch Point with the following headline that I want to read for you, saying, Shaquille O'Neal changes his all-time starting 5, still excludes LeBron James. Okay, so let's get into the report here. It says Shaquille O'Neal won 4 NBA championships during his time in the league. This 7'1" center is widely considered to be the most dominant player the NBA has ever seen. For that reason, O'Neal included himself in the latest All-NBA starting 5 when Jason and Travis Kelce asked him about it on New Heights. O'Neal's lineup changed over time, including Stephen Curry, Tim Duncan, and the latest addition, but LeBron James is a notable exclusion. Kelce asked the former Laker about his all-time group and his time playing alongside Kobe Bryant on Wednesday's episode. Less than a year ago, O'Neal answered the same question with a different group. At that time, he put together a team featuring Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Julius Erving, Karl Malone, and himself. In 2025, O'Neal made 2 key changes to his group, moving players up 1 position. He shared his new starting 5 with Kelce, impressing him and his brother with his choices. Curry at the 1, Kobe at the 2, Jordan at the 3, Tim Duncan at the 4, and me at the 5, O'Neal said. Nobody is beating that team. James' exclusion on the list is a surprise to fans. He is 3rd on O'Neal's list of the greatest players ever, but couldn't crack the starting lineup. He explained to Kelce that he doesn't like participating in exercises like this. In his opinion, lists like that sour players against him unnecessarily. While he has problems with the question, O'Neal has become more proactive with his answer. Players that retired before the modern era often tend to think that current players are soft. However, Curry and Duncan's inclusion in the starting 5 shows, however, Irving and Malone show that his perception has evolved. So this article has some pretty weird languaging at the end. So he didn't change his list. His list is still, he doesn't have, on the one hand, you said that he doubled down, and then on the other hand, you said he had him. So look, based on what Shaq said previously about his top 3, let's say 5 or whatever, we know he has Jordan at 1, Kobe at 2. Who does he have at 3? LeBron at 3. Okay, no. Yeah, sorry. LeBron is at 3. And I forgot who he has at 4. Is it Magic Johnson? So sorry, I got that wrong. So LeBron is in his top 3. Now, as it pertains to his his starting 5, well, it's an interesting one. Let's go to the Curry factor. He did hear the things that were being said about Curry. And what I'm going to assume is that maybe Shaq forgot that he said that in terms of what he said about propelling Curry. Because sometimes you make these lists, it's not like a tattoo that you have on your body, man. Your top 10, sometimes you may forget a player or 2. And then you have to go back and like, oh, that's right, I forgot about this guy. It happens like that. And maybe that's what happened. Now, Shaq's list didn't include Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was strange. Having Kareem off the list and having Julius Erving on the list. Now, if we had to even discuss, if we had to choose between Kareem and Curry making on the list, it's not even a question. Curry's getting left off that list for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, as it pertains to his starting 5, however, that's the one I want to address now. Well, let's look at it. He has Stephen Curry at the point, which some people would be okay with, although I think a lot of people will go with Magic Johnson, but nevertheless, he has Stephen Curry at the point. He then has Kobe Bryant at the 2. Now, traditionally, people usually put Jordan at the 2 because they go by positions: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. But in this case, he's seeing Jordan and Kobe as being interchangeable. And he believes that Jordan can play the 3, which I believe he could if he decided to. So he said, okay, I'm going to put Jordan at the 3. Then he now put, who did he put at number 4? I think he put, I just closed the article, but yeah, I think he put himself, and I forgot the 4th person that he put. So the question is, he omitted LeBron James. I think when you're doing a list like that, I generally tend to see the following: Jordan at the 2, LeBron at the 3. And I'm going to tell you why. Because people usually pick the best players that ever played that position. Now, is Shaq going to omit Jordan? No. Because then you might as well not even have a list. But we know he's not going to omit Kobe. We know that. So you can't really fault his list. You can't, because The question is, who does he remove off his list to then put LeBron on? Because if he puts Jordan at the 2, he's going to put, and he's not going to put LeBron over Kobe, and he's not going to do the same for Jordan. So, as a former teammate of Kobe's, I understand that. Now, he may just think that he would have a better shot at winning that game by not having LeBron on the team when he already has Kobe and Jordan, bearing in mind that he already has Kobe at number 2. So, it's an interesting thing. Obviously, I'm not a mind reader, so I don't know what went into Shaq's decision making there. Who knows? Maybe we may try to reach out to Shaq and invite him on the show. I know the haters, man. Shaq wouldn't come on your show. You sure about that? You sure about that? Are you sure about that? Don't try me, son. Don't. LeBron, I gotta say, is a very polarizing NBA player. I mean, he really is. You know, a lot of people love him. You know, and the people that love him, they really do. But then a lot of people hate him. Like, I'm noticing that, right? And we know that, let me just say, the primary reason, at least one of the major reasons LeBron is still playing is because he's still in pursuit of championship rings and ultimately convincing people that, look, I'm better than Michael Jordan. He's still on that hot pursuit. And every single year, the Lakers have a chance to go in the playoffs. His fans get excited and say, hey, man, who knows? This may be the opportunity we need to win a championship, right? Because they really want him to capture at least this 5th ring. Because I think that LeBron fans will say if LeBron gets his 5th ring, I think they'll be fully prepared to say he's better than Michael Jordan because of all of the various narratives that they can use to support that claim. So this morning, I was going through the internet here, and I came across a pretty interesting headline from fadeawayworld.net, who tends to be a twerking website, with the following headline saying, former NBA player tells LeBron James to retire. He ain't getting no 5th ring unless he buys one. And I was like, say what? Okay, so let's get into what this report says here. It says LeBron James is set to become the 5th player in NBA history to play a 23rd season in the NBA in the 2025-26, but Olden Polonice wants him to think about retirement. Polonice, who played 15 seasons, I hope I'm pronouncing his name properly, seasons in the NBA, stated on Brian Scott's Fast Break podcast that he doesn't understand why James is still playing. The longevity aspect, I think, is getting a little bit too much now, he said. Because I'm like, dude, what else do you want to do? It's time for you to start thinking about retiring. He also made it clear that James's days of winning titles are over. He ain't getting no 5th ring unless he buys one, he stated. It ain't happening. While Polonice may end up being right about James not adding to the 4 championship he already has, he can't really fault the man for wanting to carry on. The 40-year-old averaged 24.5 points last year with 7.8 rebounds, 8.2 assists, and a steal and 0.6 blocks per game for the Los Angeles Lakers. James has got left in the tank, and you'd struggle to find too many players in NBA history who walked away from the game after achieving the kind of season he had. The 21st All-Star made the All-Second NBA team this year, and it would make little sense to retire. So this article is on full Twerkation Nation. They already, they up there shaking. What are my thoughts on this? First of all, I'm a bit surprised with the candor. Because one thing we know from these NBA dudes, they don't keep it real. They keep it real when it comes about talking about the media. Oh, they keep it real with that. But when it comes about talking about themselves, oh, they rarely keep it real. All of a sudden they start turning into diplomats and you got to understand. The person that used to keep it real on TV that I remember was Steven Jackson. Go back and look at some of those old clips of Steven Jackson on First Things First. Go back and look at some of those clips back then. He used to say it like he saw it back then. Still does, but then on TV, he used to keep it real. So look, number one, I'm surprised that he kept it that candid. Like, yo, son, you're not winning nothing, man. Like, yo, bro, it's over. It's over. Now, let's talk about is there any legitimacy to what he's saying? Well, let's look at the probability of LeBron winning a title. The fundamental problem is the following. The conference that he plays in. That's the problem. This ain't the East. Now, the East has gotten strong over the last few years now, but it's the Western Conference. And the fact is, the West has always been stacked. Now, he did make it out of the Western Conference to win a championship in 2020 under very unusual circumstances. But the fact of the matter is, looking at the landscape of the Western Conference, we can definitively say that there are teams out there that are just better right now than LeBron's team. You have the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are better. I think the Denver Nuggets are better. Then you have teams like Houston. You have teams like, what's his team? Minnesota, who's better. Hell, Minnesota just beat them in 5. So the hurdles that he has to overcome are plenty. They're plenty. So he's probably looking at it from the vantage point like, yo, bro, what's the likelihood of you coming out of the Western Conference and getting through the gauntlet and then getting to the finals and waiting for God knows who's over there chomping at the bits to go at you? So he's looking at it like, bro, why are you putting yourself through all this stress? You already have as many records you can think of. And the fact of the matter is, there is no new record LeBron will get next year that will move the needle at all. Because the only thing he can do at this point to really change minds, win a championship, win a regular season MVP, win a finals MVP. That's it. Every other thing is not really moving people at this point. Certainly, that's what this gentleman thinks. Now, do I think LeBron has a chance to win another championship? No. No. I don't think the Clippers have a chance to win it. So it's not like an LeBron thing. Bro, we got to be realistic about what's going on. Do you see who is out in the West? Do you see these hooligans out here, bro? Do you see them? Like, can we be for real? Like, come on, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough getting out there. I remember the time when I was a kid, I was in the Bronx and I went to go visit my friend Anthony. Damn, I forgot what neighborhood he stayed at. But he stayed near some projects. But I think in this particular neighborhood, they had a lot of Puerto Ricans or whatever. But anyway, so I go to his house. I walk from my house to his house during the afternoon, like around 12 or something. It was daylight. I walked over there. We over there playing video games, watching Mortal Kombat, just having a good old time. It was time for me to leave his house. Son, it was at night. I was going out his apartment, going downstairs, and I got downstairs and I'm seeing people. I'm like, yo, where did they come from? You get outside, it's like, yo, who are all of these people? I'm like, damn. And you know how New York, you know how we do. You go in, especially if you walking through like somebody building and dudes just they just looking for who, they will all pack the entrance. And you got to now walk through these MFers. And God forbid you mess around and step on somebody's foot because you catching the beats. And I made it out there. I'm like, yo, what happened? Son, it's like that. It's like walking through one of them hallways, them project hallways, trying to get out. Good luck with it. Good the F luck with it.